This is Jody from KUTX, and we're going to spend a little quality time with my friend Kevin Shinyribs Russell of the band Shinyribs, Austin's award-winning Band of the Year, twice Band of the Year, two times. And, some of the descriptors when it comes to Shinyribs, one anyway, is Burl Ives meets Al Green. So it is Al Green's birthday, Kevin.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Man, I didn't know that.
Well, I've got you on Al Green's birthday. I'm figuring it's perfect.
I should have done Al Green song.
Oh, well, it's good. Where are you physically right now?
I'm in my studio, my shed out my property out here. It's where I recorded "Stay Home" right here at this spot, and it's where I've been recording a lot of music, writing a lot of music. It's where I pretty much do everything in here now these days.
You mentioned "Stay Home." Really, the first song that I heard post-lockdown, encouraging people to stay home. So is that just what you do? Things come into your life and you're like, I got to put this into a song.
Often, yeah. You just get an idea or a thought, and my thought at the time, when all of it went down, I was like everybody else. It took me a while to wrap my head around what was happening, and I still haven't quite done that. But we had to cancel and reschedule a bunch of shows, and then we realized, okay, that's what we need to do is just stay put, stay home. And so it didn't seem like people were getting the message, and I heard about the spring breakers down in Padre, and so I was like, man, maybe if I just write a song, I'll put it out there, and maybe it'll catch on, and people will get the message because the song will be in their head, and it'll remind them, oh yeah, don't leave, just stay where you're at. And sure enough, Mayor Adler shared it on the day he announced the stay home ordinance, and then the Texas Medical Association, Texas physicians are using it right now as a PSA, and they're pushing it real hard. So it's done, just as I dreamed it up. It's done what I thought it was. It's pretty exciting.
We're all looking for ways to contribute right now, and boom, right out of the box, you did it. So thank you for that song.
Oh, yeah.
You're not only a musician and a band leader, but you're an employer. You have 7 musicians who work for you. I'd imagine this is a difficult time. All of your dates are gone. You're touring shows at least until the end of May. The Green Hall gig is still on the list as I've seen it. How are you dealing with that with your band?
Well, I'm pretty conservative business-wise, so I've saved, money over the years, and I do everything. I'm all DIY, so I keep some reserves of money for a lot of things, that I have to pay out of pocket, rainy day fund, basically. Because you never know with that many musicians in this world, as we live this unstable world of music, anything's possible. So I do keep money on hand. And so luckily I have that money to pay them. So they are taken care of through June. And as well as me and my family are fine. But I'm still encouraging them to file for unemployment and to go through all the same hoops. I'm doing a small business loan through the SBA. We're working on that as well. So we're following through on other things that we can maybe offset some of the losses. And a lot of the venues have worked with us rescheduling, and so I think it's going to be, if this is over by summer, which we all pray that it is, if it is, then maybe we'll see a really great summer of music is what I'm hoping.
I like your thinking, Kevin Russell.
Because everybody's going to be playing and everybody's going to want to go out.
I'm first in line, brother. Yeah. You mentioned your family. You're in this shed that's adjacent to your home. How many people are living together in your home right now?
There are 4 of us, my 2 sons, my oldest son and my youngest son, and my wife and Robin and me. And then my daughter, she lives at her own place, but we see her pretty often. And everybody's happy and healthy. No big upsets or anything yet. We're all pretty chill people in our family, so we don't really get on each other's nerves much. And when we do, we know when to just slink away.
See, I always want to emulate the Kevin Russell vibe. And even now, the vibe that you're giving me during this conversation is something that I'm going to take with me. Although we've been doing pretty well at our house as well. We're very blessed.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, okay, so we were talking about some financial things. You know, you and I have gotten together for KUTX membership drives over the years.
Yeah.
And obviously, in this situation, KUTX and KUT, we're not doing a membership drive as we usually do, but we are encouraging people to give if they can. And if
Yes.
they can't, we understand. We just want them to enjoy the music or
Right.
go to our sister station, KUT, for the news. But I get the drift because I've known you even before I was in public radio, when I was in commercial radio. Radio is an important media for you, and you really do support it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing like radio. I mean, I love radio. I mean, we all know the influence radio has had over American music, popular culture over the last 100 years. So, uh, and these are trying times for radio, just as they are for music creators. It's a challenge, and I think it's very important to keep radio happening, because radio plays a part in local community, especially like y'all do. You know, it really has a huge impact. People love radio, and they love music curated by music lovers like yourself. I mean, it really makes a difference. People who care about music and listen to music and understand what music means to humanity, to culture. People like you who curate the music, you know, for a community is just invaluable, really, I think.
Was that your formative influence growing up, along with maybe records from the family, listening to the radio? I know you're from Beaumont. Was there a station or two that you caught into especially?
Yeah, there was, you know, all the stations we listened to. There was one that I remember in particular. It was 104, and it was basically classic rock before it was called classic rock. It was FM. It was like the stoner FM station, you know. You always felt like you would hear things on there like Led Zeppelin. As a kid, I did not understand that band. I was like, they're so freaky, man. So you hear things like that on there, and some of the older boys, they had winks and nods to each other, you know, when some of that music was playing that I didn't understand. But uh, so I remember that, and I remember a local DJ, Gordon Baxter, I believe was his name. He was kind of like Cactus Pryor here in Austin, but to Beaumont, he was like the Beaumont Cactus Pryor. And you know, he would do funny stuff in the morning, like frozen dog reports in the winter, you know, like dogs frozen to fire hydrants, you know. And
Oh,
he was a real character cut up, like a lot like Cactus was. And I remember him really well and some of his humor. Yeah.
we're lucky enough to have some quality time with our friend Kevin Shinyribs Russell, who, like the rest of us, is on lockdown. And you mentioned earlier you're in your home studio. So is the silver lining, because there are silver linings in this situation, because you're not on the road so much now, you're doing a lot of writing, a lot of woodshedding musically?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's every day I'm out here, every night, maybe till the wee hours. I come out here and spend a lot of time. So I got into MIDI recording using software instruments because of our mutual friend Steve Berlin. He did some horn arrangements for me on the last Shinyribs record, Fog and Bling. And the way he sent me the horn arrangements, he sent back a MIDI file of horn sounds and him playing on a keyboard this horn parts. And I thought to myself, I was like, wow, I should learn how to do that. I mean, how brilliant is that? I didn't even really know you could do that. So so I've been learning since then, over the last 6 months, how to use MIDI keyboard and working in a Logic Pro program. And so that's what I've been doing largely. And that Stay Home song, that's all me doing every part. And a
Wow.
lot of it is MIDI stuff, like the horns and stuff are all MIDI. And a lot of people don't know that because the sounds are so good, you know. And so
It's,
that's largely what I'm doing. Like I put a pin last night, and that's so cool.
you know, Shiny Ribs is a live band. I mean, that's the essence of what you do. but you've also made some amazing records, and I love Fog and Bling, and there's a song on there that I love called Highway of Diamonds that kind of stretches a little bit the palette of Shinyribs in that it's more of a singer-songwriter kind of song
Yes.
rather than a, interplay of musician song, even though it's on there. But another thing that I'm a fan of is the fact that you pull covers sometimes seemingly out of thin air. And so I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know you got some instruments there, and I was thinking you always have a song for the moment. So can you give us a song for the moment? Is there something that comes to you or that you could do for us?
Yeah, I have my ukulele here, my 1930s Martin ukulele. Isn't that pretty? Smell it. It smells good. This is the first song that came to mind. I was born by the river in a little tent, and just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go see my brother, saying, brother, help me, please. But he winds up knocking me down upon my bended knee. There've been times that I thought I wouldn't last too long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
Shinyribs with Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come. Thank you so much for that. I'm hoping the change on the other side is a positive one, and that's the silver lining in this situation we find ourselves in. Just beautiful. Kevin, I was trying to think of when we first met, and I was thinking mid-90s, you were in a band called the Gourds, which you played in for about 18 years before starting Shinyribs. And I honestly have just heard whispers about this. I don't know if this is true. Are you indeed reuniting with the Gourds to play?
In a sense, we are all going to participate in a Gourds tribute on a Facebook Gourds fan page called the Gourds ... the band. That's been around for a long time, this fan page. So Jimmy, me, Keith, Claude, Max are all going to each do our own little segment. So we won't be playing together, but in a sense, virtually we're together. And then there'll be people on there. John Fulbright's going to do it. James McMurtry, John D, a bunch of people, I can't remember everybody right now, but it's probably 25, 30 people are going to be on there.
And when and where is that again?
That is going to be on the Gourds the Band Facebook group page. You'll have to go join it. It's pretty easy to join. That's a private group, but the Gourds the band on Facebook, and that will be the 25th of April, Saturday, from 7 to 10 p.m. Central Time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You've always been so generous with your time when it comes to our community and this new song, Stay Home, when it comes to KUTX and public radio in Austin. So I wish you and your family the best of health and stay sane. You've got a little outlet there to, to get away from it all.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Kevin, today and for the last 25 years of great music.
Brother, love you.
Love you, man.
Keep on doing what y'all do. We love y'all.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, brother.
All right.